Tyler Perry has released a historical World War II film titled The Six AAA on Netflix. And I think it is important to understand this is a story that should have been told a proper way. However, after watching Six AAA, it is very clear that this film and this story needed somebody else to take the reins of this film. Now, I understand that a lot of people will disagree with that assessment, but after watching this, I feel that there are so many different ways that this movie could have been told. The 6 AAA is detailing the story of the 6 888 battalion, the postal battalion, that goes over to Europe at the height of World War II. During that time, they are realizing that people are not receiving their mail, more specifically the African American troops, and they really are developing a slogan that no mail, lower morale, really highlighting that the less that the people and the troops overseas hear from home, the lower their morale is going to be. Now, this is another edition of a World War II movie that was released this year. It hit Netflix on December 20th. And I think that in this film, there are a lot of things that are important to highlight. You see the racial discrimination both in the U.S. and overseas, which during this time period would fit, unfortunately. This is before the civil rights movement. And so what we really see in this movie is the challenge of an interracial relationship and ultimately how that kind of plays out going forward with the troops overseas. Now, looking at the basis of this movie, it really seems like it is going to be a fun, entertaining movie. You're going to see a historical story that you may not have heard before. But like I said, I liked a lot of Tyler Perry's movies, but I don't feel like he is the right person for this type of film. In many ways, the writing felt very elementary. It felt that we are kind of being force-fed a high school drama in many ways. I feel like this movie could have been a little bit better from the writing aspect. The other aspect that really kind of throws me off, and honestly, it becomes a little bit irritating, is the story between Lena and Abram. We saw their relationship and their dynamic for about 12 minutes in the movie. And then what it really becomes is Abram following her wherever her thoughts go, wherever she goes. There's one specific scene where she's in the bathroom, kind of getting ready, it seems, and his ghost appears, letting her kind of know that everything is okay. What I believe should have been done is there should have been more of that type of relationship and more of a buildup of that relationship. Now, we understand that Lena joins the military really in response to Abram's death, but I really think that it could have told that a little bit differently. What I do think that this movie did a great job of is really showing how the battalion came together and the differences that each member of the battalion brought. You had Kerry Washington leading the battalion. Her acting, I thought, was very good as normal. But I also, like I said, really enjoyed the feeling of seeing how the battalion all came together, especially because of the historical significance. And so within the movie, you're going to have your typical Tyler Perry comedy. You're going to have a few scenes where that is. But obviously, with the story that's being told, it is a lot different of a comedy style than what we are used to. Now, if we get into an overall rating, with the 6 AAA, I am going to have to rate this about a 2.6 out of 5. I feel like there are a lot of aspects in this movie that Tyler Perry should have hit harder, specifically the relationship. And I also think the writing could have been done to, in a sense, not make the women look as they are inferior all the time. And I completely understand that that is the overcoming of a challenge that they have to face. But I also feel like by giving them the ability to go overseas, there should have been more power. There should have been more strength and courage in their willingness to be over there. And I think we don't get that in this film. I feel like that part of this story should have been highlighted more, specifically because of the significance. Another factor that I think is focusing in on my overall evaluation of this movie, especially as we get to the end of the year, is that we have had an abundance of World War II style movies. We've had One Life, we've had Treasure, amongst others that have really hammered this World War II time period. And while I love World War II, I love learning about it, it's always fun learning new facts about it, I feel like it is beginning to be overplayed. I feel that when you're looking at this from a historical aspect, this would have been a movie I think would have been perfect for a summertime release or released somewhere other point of the year except the very end. I also know that this movie did reach some theaters, I believe like in early December, December 6th. And it, like I said, I believe December 20th is when it hit Netflix. And I feel like this movie, in my honest opinion, did not get the time and the respect that it deserved. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that disagree with me, and that is fine. But I think when you are telling specific stories and significant stories, it has to be very on point. It has to be a story that is going to keep people interested, keep people wanting more, and really highlight how their place in history is going to be remembered. And I do not think the 6888 does that, and I am very disappointed. I was really hoping that this movie would be better, but the 6888 is out now on Netflix. If you want to give it a look, go right ahead. It is readily available. Thank you all for watching. This does conclude the 2024 reviews going into 2025. I don't think we have any more releases until, I think, January 8th or 9th. But thank you all for the continued support. Stay tuned for more reviews. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to go check out the other reviews, and I will talk to you all later.